you go. You're on now.
Is that .com? Vibrationfrequency.com?
Yes.
We broadcasting from Inglewood, a black-owned business, vibrationfrequency.com. We got 2 minutes before the show jumps off. Man, I just want to thank the brothers over at vibrationfrequency.com. The brother has been working hard as hell to get this thing popping. Now, let me just do this real quick. Michael, you probably got to hit the record button for the other software. Not the live software, but the other one.
Right here.
Yeah, just hit the little red button so we can record this show. We're not live yet on Dash, but this audio is going right to Dash. Listen, man, we gonna make it happen. We got a black-owned business. We got 60 seconds, bro, before you hit the other button to go live. But yeah, we found a black-owned business, man, to help us do this, to help us keep this thing popping. And you already know what it is. I need everybody to hit that super chat button. I need everybody to support the businesses and things that hey man, this shit look good in the mud. I'm looking on my phone right now. This shit crispy. All right, this is nice. Yeah. Okay. So at 5 o'clock sharp, bruh, you got to hit the remote location, and then we go live.
Hey, that's your ISO camera over there, man.
Oh, my bad. What's up, y'all? My ISO camera. It's 5 o'clock. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ManSions, Voice of Reason. You already know what it is. It's Wednesdays. We keep it popping on the ManSions side of the game, regardless of where we are. Now, for all of those who don't know, who are listening to me live on Dash Radio right now, VOR Radio, my own channel, Dash Radio gave it to me, Voice of Reason Radio. For all of you guys that don't know, and you see all of this different stuff going on, listen, Dash Radio is in the process of moving. They're going to be moving for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we had to find another place to record and film our shows. Record for the radio, film for YouTube and the blogger sphere and podcast world, whatever the name is. We had to find a new space. Fortunately for us, we were able to find a black-owned business here in Inglewood, California, Vibration Frequencies. They got a dope studio, got the green screen. I'm trying to touch the wall. They got the green screen. You see the little logo and situation in the back. Now, if you see me bleeding through and the logo coming through, that's only because I got on some green pieces in this Ramomar gear that I'm rocking right now. But let me get right to it. You already know, if this is your first time tuning in to ManSions, this is the ultimate premier man cave where men get in here and talk that real talk. Unadulterated, unfiltered, unafraid. ManSions, where men build palatial estates with mind power. You already know what it is. I gotta promote some businesses before we move forward. Total Package Energy. It's the only way I could keep going. It's the only way I could keep popping. Total Package Energy. I had 2 bottles today. I'm telling you right now, if you knew what my day was like, I had to take my daughter to school. I had to go to Dash Radio and get the computer reprogrammed. I had to set up at 9 a.m. to get another show ready to do a broadcast just like this at a cigar lounge. And then they went to the wrong studio. But that's all right. That's okay. We gonna keep it popping. Hopefully the brothers outside will keep it down just a taste while we're broadcasting live. So, I promote a lot of things. Total Package Energy. Oh hell, Bobby Glanton done showed up in overalls. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby's in the building. Let me go ahead and finish promoting this. Total Package Energy. Go to totalpackageenergy.com. Tell them Zoe Williams sent you. Total Package Energy. Get your energy supplements now. That's a black-owned business out of Oakland. Go support them right now. Also, Mansions Apparel. The only way we can stay alive and stay afloat is through the support of people who watch this show, through the support of people who have downloaded the Dash Radio app, the Zoe Williams app. We need you to go, and I know it's about 600-700 people in here right now. It's probably gonna end up being a couple thousand. Y'all gotta go buy out PIOclothing.com, powerinoneclothing.com. They are the official manufacturers of the Mansions gear. Come on in here, Rizza. Take your seat, brother. It's about to get lit up in here. It's about to be turned up in here. I'm telling you right now, we got an amazing show. My guests are just arriving. Again, powerinoneclothing.com. Go there right now. Buy out your Mansions hoodies, your Mansions t-shirts. Get all your Mansions gear now. You understand? Dig t-shirts, everything. We got girl shirts. And for people who push and get a little more, that helps us so we can create some more designs and get some more stuff out to you. All right, we're trying to produce some more designs. We're trying to produce some different looks, long sleeves, short sleeves, sweatshirts, the whole 9 yards. But we need your participation in order to matriculate to the next level of production. That's Power in One Clothing. Now, the relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. That is my 2015 book release. It's critically acclaimed. Go to Amazon.com, read the comments. You'll see that it is not a game. The relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. Available in 3 formats on Amazon.com, Kindle, Audible, as well as paperback. And then for my latest book, 2019, The Holographic Relationship, that's available as well at IamZoeWilliams.com. We need you to cash mob those businesses, but we got businesses still to promote. I know Bobby got something to promote.
Yes, I do.
What do you have to promote, Bobby?
We're going to start with the fact that in November, we'll be joining the August Ensemble here at Dash Radio.
Come on, let's go. What's the name of your show, Bobby?
Where real men don't play. And sometimes in November, we're going to sell something, Zoe and I. The Ghetto Classic.
Bobby,
2.
don't start.
It's going. Why you think I'm getting in shape? I'm not playing with you, man.
Bobby, listen, man.
Now, are you going to participate or not? That's the only
Bobby
question.
already kicked your ass once now.
That has nothing to do with.
I don't feel good about kicking your ass, Bobby.
Well, you ain't got to worry about that.
Bobby, you lost it last time, Bobby. Don't make me kick your ass again.
The finger roll returns in November.
Bobby, you're a terrible loser, Bobby.
That's why I brought my hydration specialist with me today, Mr. Michael Maxwell. We're working on my regimen
Bobby,
right now.
You're a terrible loser.
That's why I'm not going to lose.
Let me just ask you a question.
The services
Let me ask you a
of
question.
a hydration specialist, and we're going to Kangen water your ass right on up out of here.
Bobby, you're going to need a Kangen water IV taped to your back. I'm about your ass, Bobby. I ain't finna play with you now.
Like you were playing with me before?
Now, Bobby, you did surprise me.
It ain't gonna be no surprise this time.
No, the shit was it was a surprise.
So you ain't got
Bobby
nothing
smoked
left,
17 packs of cigarettes a day.
You ain't got nothing
And
left.
Bobby got out there and was as spry as a chicken. I was running. I said, well, goddamn, it's the water? Okay, let me drink some water then. Now, what happens if I drink the water?
It'll just be closer.
That's your ass,
No,
again.
it's just
Because you lost, I wasn't even on the water, Bobby. That's like steroids. You can't use the water. I beat him by 2. You weren't there.
It really wasn't a beat down at all.
Bobby,
But
I handled you.
November, the Ghetto Classic 2.
Bobby, okay, let me say, not November. That's a little early.
For who, you?
Yeah, I need a little time.
Oh, you need a little time.
Bobby, old as hell, you hear it? Oh, you
gonna play next week then, if that's the case.
Yes. I do need some time. I ain't played in years.
This is perfect. This is perfect. We'll move on, but Ghetto Classic 2 is coming.
Bobby. And then, of course, The young homie is in the building right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, I'm so excited for you.
Appreciate
This brother got a new book.
it. Yes, sir.
Talk to us about the book and the importance of the book, who it's for, who needs to be reading it, and more importantly, where can they buy it?
Absolutely. First off, I have to give a shout out to my brother Zoe Williams, because if it were not for this brother, this book would not have been possible entirely. I'll just say that, number one. This brother has helped me tremendously as a young man, as a young soldier under Minister Farrakhan, to simply go after our people. So this book here is titled Message to the Millennials. Message to the Millennials. Now, when people say millennials, they're thinking those who were born between 1985 and 2001. That's what these two Caucasian males have coined the term as. But we're not following that term. So as you see, it's spelled differently. It's spelled a little differently, because the millennial that I'm referring to is the strongest of the strong within any given number, within the strongest of the 1,000 of a group of people. So it is the strongest of the strong within every single generation. So whether if you are in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or if you are in your teens, you are a millennial if you stand up against the evil of this world and fight for freedom, justice, and equality. So I made this because the FBI in 2017 has classed all black people, specifically those of us within this generation who want to fight for freedom, justice, equality, stand against the police officers, or should I say domestic terrorism, under Title 18, subsection 5 of the United States Code. They have classed us as what is known as BIEs, or Black Identity Extremists, which is basically COINTELPRO in 2019. So I went ahead and broke down how they are not talking about black identity extremists that they are afraid of. They are afraid of black intellectual extremists. And that is what I break down in this book by going over many different avenues by which this government is going after the people, starting with black and brown, and of course, the entire human family.
I love it. But you still didn't tell nobody where they can buy it.
There we go. So this is where you can go. RizzaIslam.com, RIZZA, last name Islam, ISLAM.com. Make sure you order your copy. It is 161 pages of pure research. Everything you can think of, from statistics. It's colored pages, heavy, glossy, back and forth.
Is that one mine?
This is my brother Zoe Williams' copy. Look, if it wasn't his, he was gonna commandeer it. That is mine.
Come on, brother.
That's your copy right there. I need to sign it. But man, you tell me what you think, man. I need a review from you.
You already know it's about to go down in the town.
Yeah, yes sir. We needed it, man, because as of right now, here's another thing. They're coming after my network. You know, they blocked me from Facebook for 30 days. Now I can't post for another month. And now I got a message from Instagram saying that my page might get deleted. So we expected this.
You see how they do.
Of course, we expected.
You know what it is.
That's why I said I have to write a book, so that when they do take it down electronically, people will have it tangibly and physically.
Right.
Because that's the one thing we have to go back to, which is reading things that are right here in front of our face, rather than being reliant upon the technology all day.
Well, you already know how ManSions goes, man.
Yes,
you know
sir.
I do this with questions. And today's topic is a doozy, and it fits right into what you're talking about. Bobby, I know you're going to have a lot to say. And the only thing I ask is two things. Don't bring up the game. And don't say models of possibility.
Oh, wow. Models
I
of
might well leave right now.
I'm just playing, Bobby. Goddamn. Today's topic for ManSions. Black male entrepreneurialism 101. Who owns your content?
Wow, interesting.
I got to do this show.
We stepped right into this.
We broadcasting live on VOR Radio, on Dash Radio. We're also broadcasting live on my YouTube channel. Hey, shout out to YouTube, y'all. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and god damn it, if it's your last, hit the super chat button. We got a great topic, man. Black male entrepreneurialism 101. Who owns your content? I got questions. How did you get your idea or your concept of your business? Where did it come from? What motivated you to put that together? And how did you think that through? A lot of people just think starting a business is doing what? Opening a bank account? You just gonna spend money? Okay. I got questions. What was your mission at the outset when you decided to start a business? How is your business going to impact your community? How is your business going to service your community? Or is your business a leech in your community? Because there's a lot of businesses that leech off of the black dollar.
Very true. This is true.
If you getting your nails done by somebody that ain't your people, you sending some other people's kids to college.
Right.
We just need, okay, all right. How do you advertise your business? What is the quality of your business's customer service?
That's the question for us mainly.
Because a lot of times black people feel like black customers owe black businesses. Because we black, you owe, nigga, get in here and buy these. But there's roaches in here and it's not clean and the service is late. And you understand what I'm saying? The service is bad. You get what I'm saying? How do you grade your customer service? We're gonna talk about it. How can black men, this is very, very important. How can black men be expected to successfully build wealth and thus legacy during the time of immense wealth calcification?
Beautiful question.
Now, you saw the white lady got 2 weeks. She already wealthy. What the actress named Huff, what's her name? She's already wealthy. She was already on Desperate Housewives. You underdig? She'd already made millions of dollars, but she was still cheating to get her kid into college. Then on the flip side, the homeless sister goes to jail for 5 years for putting her kid in a family member's, using a family member's residence to put her kid in elementary.
Do the same thing.
She got 5 years for that. So when we look at the nature of our relationships and we look at the nature of money in America today, people seem to think, because I remember back in the day when people say black and white don't matter, the only thing that matters is green. But I think people fail to realize money is also a tool of racism.
Absolutely.
Because there have been black men with bread and been told, your money ain't no good here.
Exactly.
So racism supersedes green sometimes.
Absolutely.
So how do we build a nation of entrepreneurs, a nation of thinkers, a nation of creators, a nation of producers during this time of wealth calcification? How do we do it? Bobby?
Well, my uncle told me a long time ago, he said, son, we just like turtles. We ain't gonna get nowhere unless we stick our neck out. And I tried to visualize that and understand why he was insistent on me beginning to comprehend the importance of risk taking. And by the time I moved to San Diego, it went full circle. I had read some books by a brother named George Sabira, Black Folks Guide to Making Big Money in America, Black Folks Guide to Business Success, and Getting Black Folks to Sell. And in those 3 books, he kind of codified what you have to take into consideration before you decide to go into business. Because either you're in business to make money or you're in business to be in business. And I saw so many of my people, they were in business to be in business. And I ran across...
What does that mean? Being in business just to be in business?
Well, I finally have saved enough money and cobbled together enough resources to open a business. And that was my aim, was to open a business so I could tell people what to do. And there's only a few businesses you can be successful in with that mentality. You have to have something very rare, something very unique, that's totally in demand, and you are controlling the means of production. Otherwise, you're competing for dollars. Somebody else has that same product, and it's gonna come down to service and your reputation. Because at the end of the day, particularly in our culture, we have to understand that black people feel suspicious about handing another brother money in the first place.
Why is that?
Well, after 500 years of being told you ain't shit, it's pretty easy to come to that conclusion, especially when it comes to spending your money. It never even crosses your mind that you are doing what you said a minute ago, and that is enriching other people by things that you have to purchase. You have to purchase certain things like
Toiletries,
food. There ought to be a black grocery store in every neighborhood, and there's none, because that's an essential need. You have to have that. So if you consciously go out of your way to support somebody else, then don't be surprised that your community ends up impoverished. And you're unable to employ your children or your friends or anybody else. Because a business is basically an idea, and you're filling a need. And who got more needs than black folks?
Nobody today.
But how many of those needs are we filling?
Right.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
so conceptually, the importance of black entrepreneurism is off the charts, particularly in an economy that has changed in my lifetime so dramatically to the point where it's a service economy now. And one of the things that we lack as a people is the sensitivity to the customer, particularly our own folk. Because you're gonna have to, if you look at the black businesses that have done well, that's the one thing that they really understood they had to do, and that's to be of service. And that's a conditioning issue.
I like that. I like that. Rizza?
Man, this right here, see this topic when it comes to this generation as right now in 2019, Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was absolutely accurate way back then, as he still is accurate today when he said that business is warfare. When you enter into business as a black man or woman in this society, what you are doing is you have declared war upon those who benefit from having their business predicated upon the degradation of you and your society. Meaning, I make money based upon how negative the condition is of black people. I make more money by you making less money. I am happier when you are sad. I am healthy when you are sick. This is what the society runs off of when it comes to black people. So if I'm black and I say I want to be an entrepreneur, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 no more. What I just told White Sky Daddy is, I'm no longer your nigga. I am who I am by nature. I am my own man. As a matter of fact, I am that man who you destroyed at a certain point, but I'm going back into who I am by nature. So that means this whole system that benefited and was built upon my destruction is now going to be turned over completely. That's what this system sees when they see a young black man, young black woman who wants to start a business and no longer wants to work for somebody else's business. As Brother Bobby was saying, no restaurants for the majority black owned in inner cities, no grocery stores for the majority black owned in inner cities, because right now they cannot allow you to establish any way by which you can be independent of them, or else you, 1, won't need them, 2, they won't survive, 3, they won't make money, 4, they will no longer remain in power, 5, they will no longer be superior, which they never were ever, but they will no longer be in that position. And they believe literally that if we become successful, if we become self-sustaining, then they are going to be the ones who are going to be put into slavery. That's what this guilty conscience is. It's all the way in business, it's in economics, it's in the educational system, it's in all these areas. They really believe that if black people start doing well for themselves, then white people are going to be doing bad. We don't give a damn about what white folks do. We just simply want you to leave us the hell alone.
We want to do well.
We want to do well, just like you.
Right.
Very simple. So no, yeah, brother, this topic specifically is extremely relevant right now, because there is a rise or resurgence or resurrection of black entrepreneurship, black business owning, black higher education, higher living. People actually want to do better in our community.
But is it possible when everything that is described as better is offered by them?
No, we have to remove the idea that anything better is related to and connected to white folk. We have to remove that. That literally comes through the understanding of the knowledge of self. Learning about who you are, learning about your nature, your culture, your original language, your original way of thinking, your original spirituality, etc. Because when you go back and you start to learn about your bloodline, you start learning about your heritage and your people, you see, wait a minute, I have the highest quality grade A in my bloodline. I have the highest quality everything in my heritage, in my culture. I don't need to be like somebody else. No matter how much you convince me that your way of doing things or your situation or your technology, etc., is better than mine, I actually have it all on my own.
Here's the problem. If they own the books that you are educated by, you're still a slave.
Correct.
But could the same be argued if they sign the checks? You still a slave.
Absolutely.
If they administer your content.
Yes.
These are real questions that need to be asked.
Absolutely.
Bobby, your thoughts?
Well, as you were, bringing it from the brother, well, as the brother was speaking, I was sitting here thinking about some very simple things that we have to do. We have to begin to look at best possibilities. You can call it something else if you want to.
That's fine, Bobby. Absolutely.
But replicate what works. It's a brother that's sitting here right now who decided at some point in his life that he could do what he didn't necessarily see other black folks though, but there had to been some people in the Bay Area that he drew inspiration and motivation from to become impactful in the entertainment industry. And as a result of that, look at all of the people's lives that he has affected to the point of extreme black wealth. So we need to stop reinventing the wheel. Because in practically every occupation, there's been somebody black who was successful, who got buried in the annals of history. So we continue to think we starting something new when all we're doing is embellishing something that's already there, if we got the sense to do that.
Right.
I mean, you got to know about it to do it. And that's where we fall off the most. I mean, there's a generation that has never heard of George Washington Carver.
Very true. Very true.
Mr. A.G. Gaston. You know, John Johnson. I mean, all of these people created pathways to wealth. And then there's other people that you didn't know that in your local community always had money, always worked for themselves. And nobody stepped to them and said, look, you know, don't look like your kids getting in it. Let me see if I can follow that path. So the key thing for us to do right now is be curious enough to figure out how people make money.
Got it. Good brother Michael, could you just turn down the background music just a little bit for us, brother? Some people in our chat room. So when you hear me say chat room, please understand, Dash Radio listeners, that I'm talking to a live listening audience.
That's right.
On my YouTube channel. We have over 54,000 subscribers on YouTube and over 10.3 million views. So when they say turn the music down a little bit, I say, well, wait a minute, let me acknowledge them as well. Normally we have the phone lines open, but this is a live remote at vibrationfrequency.com. I want everybody in my YouTube, I want y'all to go download, go to that website, go subscribe, vibrationfrequency.com. I want you to go there and support this black-owned business that exists here in Inglewood, California. Now let me hit you upside the dome piece with a little information. Over 90% of all black-owned LLCs that are owned by women only have one employee. Like you say, they start their business, they don't have no money, they can't hire nobody, they're their own employee. I got this statistic from Tone Talks. Tone Talks, Federal Reserve, got all this information. Number one economics professor down at Duke, brother named Sandy Darity. They did real work on how to close the wealth gap. Now, what he pointed out was 11 things that even if we did those starting today and kept doing it, wouldn't make up the gap, the 400-year gap, because the analogy that the brother used was so profound. Back in the day, you heard them say about the race with the white man that he got a head start. Tone said, no, he didn't get a head start. We, as black people, were his cleats. So, to say he got a head start is to say we was in the race. No, he said, no, you are his shoes. And he ran your ass down until he wore you out. See, when you look at white wealth in America, it's built on the backs of black slavery. So now we live in a society today that looks up to white sky daddy. The best deals and the best offers are coming from the white man because of what Bobby illustrated earlier when he said black people don't trust black people. Black people don't respect black people. And I've said this before. I said it on the Hidden Colors 5. I said, you can stunt on a black man, but you can't stunt on the white man. See, you can roll up in a nice car and a nice, all that and clown with black people. But you can't do that with white people. They've always had an Audi. They've always had a Benz. They've just always had it. It's a normal car to them. It's special to you. It actually gives you self-identification.
Exactly.
I'm the shit because of the car, the inanimate mechanical thing here. I'm the shit because of that. How then do we come back as a people and say, well, wait a minute. If we're going to close anything, it should be a circle that we close around ourselves.
Correct.
Malcolm said it. We're going to deal with these white folk or we're going to deal with each other. He said, before we start dealing with anybody else, we got to close the doors and deal with ourselves.
Precisely.
We got to heal ourselves. The relationships is fucked up because relationships is governed by money.
Large statistic on that.
So
Yeah.
you look both ways. Black man, okay, I'm an NFL player, I'm an NBA player, I'm a MLB player. I'm gonna go get a white girl. Because he doesn't understand that the money, the wealth, the homes, and all of that shit transfers generationally. Now my kids, if my kids are black, do you understand? Now they get that little bump, that little boost. This is what the baby boomers did for a lot of other black kids.
That's right.
The baby boomers worked when the dollar meant something. So one job could buy the crib, she could stay home. I love the way the minister said, it's not your place,
It's your
base. It's your, what did he say?
Your base.
It's your base.
Come on, brother.
It's not your place, woman, it's your base.
Come on. Military science.
I said, well, damn, okay. So all that's removed.
Right.
And now the man and the woman in the black community are in competition for the same dollar.
Come on. With the same slave master who don't like neither one of y'all.
And it's an instrument of debt, am I correct?
100%. Federal Reserve note, yes.
Okay, so
Fiat money.
So how do we then turn this thing around? How do we then say, you know what? It behooves us to be us again. Because we're not us right now.
Right.
We them. So how do we get back to us? I need 2 points from you and
Yes.
2 points from Bobby.
Number one, the point is we must accept our own. Number two, we must be ourselves. Accepting your own meaning I actually appreciate black creativity, black ingenuity, black entrepreneurship, black business, black education, black everything. I appreciate it, I acknowledge it, and I actually want it, and I'm going to invest in it. That's number one. We must accept each other and be willing to work with one another to build one another so that we can come out of this system and establish our own system with one another. Number two, be ourselves. We have to come out of the language of the white man, out of this culture that they have, which they're pushing all kinds of stuff from pedophilia legalization to now saying that there are over 100 genders.
What?
And come on, brother. Listen.
No. Say it what it is. There's over 100 ideas.
Ideas.
There's 100
Excuses.
concepts.
Excuses.
There's
Just
only 2 genders now.
Exactly. No, really. That's it. It's
Am
just
I
two.
clear?
100%. Nature. That's
Well,
nature.
there's a lot of men in here. Brothers.
How
Yo,
many genders?
it's 2 genders, right?
Put
If
your
we
twos
can
in
take a poll in here,
Right.
it's 2 genders.
We got twos in the building. Okay, we got two.
Okay.
Yeah, two.
All right, cool.
All right.
2 genders.
So we have to be ourselves, meaning stop being those people, that culture, that way of thinking that help to subjugate and destroy your own people. I never can understand how the hell something like them, who came out of the caves and hillsides of Europe, can rule us. I don't understand how it happened. I'm still wrestling with that. But then again, I can't argue my ancestors because they're not here. They're living through us, so we have to do better for them in the present time. But we have to be ourselves, love one another, learn about who we are, learn about the greatest, as Brother Bobby was saying, the greatest of our inventors, who, by the way, invented the majority of things that we use today, but they make it seem as though white people invented them. We have everything from the metallic objects that we have in these cell phones to this very day, coltan, the metal that we get from Africa, which all these white folks with iPhones wouldn't be able to use their phones if it were not for Africa, the stoplight, the bulletproof vest, you name it, every single thing came from us. So we must learn about ourselves, be interested in ourselves, and look at the fact of, okay, this is paper. All right. It has white men on it. Fine. It is debt. It is debt. It is debt. We have to look at the fact of gold, silver. We have to look at Bitcoin. If you want to look at that, we have to look at uranium. Look at all these different things and say, how can we come up out of this so that we can establish our own as a people? And once we do that and fall back in love with ourselves, then we won't have to argue anymore with anybody else. We can stunt on white folks. We can. But we can't stunt on them with their clothing, their behavior, their technology.
There we go.
Nothing.
Keep going.
How the hell am I going to sit here and drive up in a Rolls Royce and say, yeah, nigga, I got a Rolls Royce? Nigga, that's my Rolls Royce. That's what you said. And then that's mine. That's my uncle.
Ours.
Louis Vuitton, oh yeah, that's my cousin. That's my nephew. You dropped a bomb on that. It was hilarious. I said, because that is exactly what we do. But I want to walk up and say, I have the new, as my brother has, Nagast footwear.
Yes.
Black owned.
Where is he? Detroit, Michigan?
Atlanta.
With
the Nat Turner boots. I stomped my Nat Turners. See, we got Nation of Islam clothing. We got the Sun, Moon, and Star Crescent. We got our own. See, I stunt with that.
Yeah.
Stunt with the Zoe What caps or whatever other clothing brands we have. We can do that and make that the valuable. Make that what's hot, what's in. We have to put more value on our creation so that way when everybody else sees us, y'all showing up with Versace and all that, and I'm showing up with black owned everything, and I'm on not the red carpet. I don't walk on the red carpet. Let's say you are on there. You stunting with something that came from your people. And when we put more value on that than what we do on everybody else's stuff, then we'll begin to learn more about ourselves and be interested in ourselves as people.
Bobby?
We have to create a marriage between capital and expertise.
Like
The
that.
reason that's so important is there's a lot of talent in our midst that never gets developed because there's never a marriage between that talent and the fiscal resources you need to develop that talent. And it comes down to solving problems, because that's all a business really is.
That's right.
Right now in this country, we're experiencing a number of problems with health and wellness that shorten people's lives. It affects the quality of people's lives. And we've yet, as a segment of the population, started looking at how do we make people better physically and emotionally and everything else, and get paid to do it. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world and end up the richest person in the cemetery. And we are not looking at the things that white people are beginning to address. See, the opioid epidemic is a crisis now that white kids are dying before their parents do.
Yeah.
And trust me, they're going to make some adjustments to that. And part of that is they're going to find ways to make people feel better about themselves while they make money doing it. Because the pharmaceutical industry is a $1 zillion business.
Yes.
Brother, come on.
Okay. We also need to look at other trends in terms of where is the money and how do we leverage our community and the collective expertise that we have to be a participant in the development of new America. Right here in this city now of Los Angeles and Inglewood, buildings going up everywhere.
Everywhere.
What's
right now.
missing when you pass by those job sites? Us.
A bunch of black
America
men.
is experiencing a labor crisis that they don't want to really talk about because they're still trying to pull their people back into it.
Right.
But who's better situated based on our need to make money and our ability to work, physically work? So we just have to really just reshift our focus to the point where we're in a position to compete.
I could smoke a bag of that, Bobby, if I smoke weed. Black people are in an abusive and toxic relationship with a few white men. One of them is Jesus, and the other one, and the other few are the men on American currency. We're in a toxic and abusive relationship with those particular men. What do I mean by that? If you do not have control over the contents of your consciousness, you are a slave.
Simple as that.
It's really that simple. You can't value you because the definition of you is authored by somebody who wants to be you, simultaneously hates you.
Right.
He wrote your definition that you accept about yourself.
Exactly.
So you don't mind busting your ass, saving up some money to get some Versace and some Gucci and all this other shit so you could go out and feel good. Your clothes bring self-esteem. They've already done the research, but your clothes wouldn't bring you self-esteem if it had a black name on it.
Come on. That was the programming.
So we have to first go, who wrote this? And for what purpose? Now,
What's that?
y'all know me. There is truth in every holy book out there.
Absolutely.
But not everybody can discern that truth. Not everybody can decipher that truth. And not everybody has been taught to read those books correctly.
This is true.
If I walk in your church and your pastor don't speak the language of the books, and he relies too heavily on exegesis, hermeneutics, apologetics, you understand? I walk in your church and that's what your pastor doing, I know that's the hustle movement.
Right.
You understand?
Simple.
It's really that simple. Same with Islam. If your imam doesn't speak Arabia, at least read the classical Arabic in the Quran, Fusha. If he don't know, what, do you know it? No, if you don't know it, you can't teach it. You get what I'm saying? We got to break down that crust that's over us.
Absolutely.
Then we got to come back and say, well, who's using our stuff? Because what you find is white men, white people, all over the world, looking for spirit in the places we inhibited. Whether it be Egypt, South Africa. I talk about this man in South Africa all the time. He's a Sangoma. He's 98 years old now. His family told the public, stay the fuck away from him now. He old, he need to rest.
Right.
He's one of the last Sanusi Sangomas there. He's a shaman. And when you talk to him, who at his feet calling him Baba?
Wow.
White people. At his feet, Baba, could you tell us more about... And this man is one of the last. His family just said, look, man, he's 98 years old. Let him rest. And what does he talk about? He talks about the origins of the Egyptians. He said everything came from South Africa. See, what you know is South is really North.
This is true.
Everything came up out of South Africa, what you're calling South Africa. And he said every religious system in Africa is related. Whether it's West Coast, Ivory Coast, Ifa, Yoruba, whether it's Songhai, whether it's Dogon, whether it's Egyptian, it's all the same, just different names. All of it came out of here, including Christianity. But that ain't the Christianity we following.
No. The original Ethiopian version.
The Coptics.
Coptics, yes.
Right? So nobody's talking about that. You want to know how to get out from under an oppressor's foot? Because the oppressor will give you a deal. The prison system offers plea deals. Every time the white man in business offers you a deal, understand it's a plea deal.
Absolutely.
He's not going to put you in a position to usurp his.
No.
To overthrow him. And this is one thing that we got to start seeing. And I'm going to throw it back to y'all.
I laugh so much when I see this because a lot of times when I see white entrepreneurs, matter of fact, see, you never hear that term, white entrepreneur. You just hear entrepreneur and now black entrepreneur.
Right.
Because that's how you know they've monopolized the idea that they are the only ones that can go into business, or that everyone else should not go into business, specifically if you're black and brown in the inner cities. But what's interesting is that when you said black people don't trust other black people, what's funny is some of us do, but it happens to be those of us, as you were saying, who are now more aware, who are actually interested in learning about one another, who have hated being mistreated so much by this system, by their job that they were on, by their boss, by their manager, et cetera, et cetera. They had to get to a position of so much discomfort to where they were forced to leave. And that is exactly the same thing that happened all the way back in the day when we were whipped and when we were being attacked. We had to be pushed into a position where we would hate to be a part of this system. I don't want to be in the house. I ain't picking no cotton. I don't want to be a part of this. I'd rather die than be a part of this. That's the mentality we have to go into today. We would rather damn near be homeless than sacrifice and not have to do anything and be, laying at the foot of a white man or at his business. No. I'm going to establish my own everything. I don't want to sit here and be your prostitute no more. We have to really get back into that mentality of, you know what, I want to do something for myself, and I'm going to unite with my brothers and pool my resources, whether it's 100, or 1,000, 1,000, and really establish something for ourselves because we have no choice.
Right. Bobby?
Well, we're in those days right now where necessity will become the mother of invention. Because I see brothers like Byron Allen.
I was just about to bring it up.
Yeah.
Byron reminds me of Marcus. You know, they off the grid to a degree, but they are so impactful that you'll find out who they are.
You're going to find out.
Their productivity.
Right.
And I use those two men as an example because when white folks realize that you have reached a point where you're a serious competitor, first thing they do is look and see where are your soldiers.
Absolutely.
Right.
You need
Not
security.
how much money you got.
No, you need security.
Who you with?
That's it.
Who with you?
Who gonna ease the pain?
Yeah, come on.
Inflict pain if necessary. And when we look at building a society within a society, it takes those kind of examples, people that you can see doing what they're doing, and then they look like you. It takes that worry out, that fear. When you see somebody that's walking upright, not kowtowing or whatever, but has the pragmatic ability to go into that white man's world and not ask for no favors or nothing, but bring enough value and understanding of this value to the point where he can negotiate something that may not sit well with the brothers and sisters at first until they get the feed off of it. As Wendell Stimley, and you've heard me mention this brother's name many times, and Wendell has made enough money with black labor in the construction industry to prove his point to me. He said, Bobby, the reason I can get these guys to do what they're doing is I've improved the quality of their lives. You can't lead people for long if you can't feed them. And your message can be right on point, but when the Miss Meal cramps hit, they ain't gonna care what color you are. What time is dinner? That's the only thing that's gonna matter, man. And we have to really understand that you can't just continue to throw a message out there without a movement behind it.
So you mentioned Byron Allen. Byron Allen is certified. He is seen as a certified terrorist.
To the system. Oh, that's definitely.
To the system.
Absolutely.
To the system at large. You got Donald Trump and the Department of Justice trying to overthrow an 1866 constitutional amendment
To keep him from getting
to
big.
keep him from getting these networks that he has quietly amassed under everybody. Listen, I keep trying to tell people this, and we're going to have to one day deal with the consequences of this.
Absolutely.
Our unity, our cooperation, collaboration with each other is a terrorist act.
100%. 100%.
You need to understand that.
100%.
When those black people got together in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Rosewood, Mississippi, when they got together, please understand that was a terrorist act.
What is the greatest threat to the United States national security? What is the greatest threat to the United States? Was that question was posed to J. Edgar Hoover. He said Negro unity.
Now watch this. Niggas ain't even unified.
Right.
And the FBI said, you know what we gonna do? BIE, Black Identity Extremists,
brother.
when the number one terrorist in the world
Come on.
is the white man.
Even the
The
Department of
most
Justice, yes.
toxic form of masculinity on planet Earth is the white man. You just had a white man who was in an isolated cell somewhere kill himself. I don't know how he did it under suicide supervision. Who supplied children ass, babies,
Come on.
to the rich and famous.
That's what they do.
This
what they
is a literal monster.
Yes.
And he is so keen of who you are and how powerful you can be. I don't give a damn if they together or not. I'm going to keep my foot on their neck. Now, how do they do that? Nigga, you not shit unless I authorize you. How are you authorized by this system? You got to be accepted.
Absolutely.
How are you accepted? There are many different ways. A degree from their educational institutions.
That's your master's
That's
degree.
People fail to realize,
master's.
man. If you don't own the educational institution, you are now being institutionalized by the institution.
May I translate that?
Yes, please, sir.
If you don't think for yourself, somebody else will do it for you.
Talk about it, Bobby.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that's the mission right now, is to get people to understand. Look in the mirror and see if you got everything that everybody else has: 2 arms, 2 eyes, 2 legs, 2 ears. And then ask yourself, what's the difference between my situation and the person that I consider to be superior to me? Most of the time it's effort and consistency. It's 24 hours in every day.
Right.
And they bunch up really quickly, but when you break it down, it's 24 hours in a day. You got a certain amount of time to sleep, certain amount of time you need to eat, certain amount of time you should be, keeping your mind right. But that all is your responsibility, because the more of your time you give away to worrying about other people and what they doing,
Right.
shit, you think they worry about what you doing?
Well,
Not
yes.
like that. No, I'm gonna tell you something. After a while, they know they don't really have to worry about what you're doing, because you ain't doing shit. Why they gotta worry about that? They gotta worry about what if.
Bobby.
They worried about what if you
Bobby.
do something.
But it's their
the other way
fear.
around. Yeah.
It is their fear of the what if. What if he comes from underneath my foot? What if he builds his own business?
Bobby.
What if he builds his own schools?
This is where Bobby, damn.
What?
I fuck with you, Bobby, but you bullshitting now right now.
How am I bullshitting?
Candace Owens is how you bullshit.
What about it?
Somebody paid Candace Owens
To do
to
what?
go to Congress and say white supremacy ain't a problem.
And you know what?
And then the next
you know
day,
what we were doing while she was
but
doing
wait,
that?
but hold on, Bobby. Then the next day, the government came out and said, okay, we're gonna put white supremacy on
The list of domestic terrorism.
the list of domestic terrorism.
Department
It
of
wasn't
Homeland
there before BIE.
Right.
And we're not even together.
That was the
But
Department of
what was
Homeland
we
Security.
doing though? Waiting to
Come on,
be
Bobby.
delivered.
No,
Somebody
no,
gonna
I
come
agree
and
with you,
save
Bobby.
us.
We shouldn't wait to be delivered.
That's a
But
death
what
blow.
we should do is recognize when there is an enemy offering us bread.
Correct. And when one of us is trying to offer us back up to the enemy on a silver platter.
Come on,
When Candace
man.
Owens made that damnable statement, and the only reason why she can make that statement so flagrantly and so fluidly is because she is married to a white man, which means you are sleeping with the enemy, so you cannot successfully attack the system upon which he comes and derives from. So this woman is married to a Caucasian male as of 3 weeks ago. 21 days. So she can't actually blast against the system because a part of her bias or her mentality is stuck on the fact of, well, what if my husband, what is he going to think about this? No, your people first. Your people, yourself and kind first. So when she made that statement, she said, as a matter of fact, if white supremacy or white nationalism was on a list of 100 things, if I had a list of 100 things, white supremacy and white nationalism wouldn't be on that list of things that are affecting black people. I said,
She said that, Bobby.
that mentality,
Now you done been through enough shit to know.
To know that I cannot. I need to spend more time talking about the success of the So What show and how it was formed. How you could pick up a phone and get the brother on the system over here to allow you to come into the studio.
No, Marcus did that.
I'm gonna get to him in a minute. We need to spend more time featuring what it is that's being done by people who care about us.
And I
Than
agree.
about
I
these
agree.
other folks that keep putting us in a situation where like, how'd they get to speak for us any goddamn
I agree.
way?
I agree.
And that right there is absolutely what we should do and what we are doing.
got to do.
And the part of doing that is that those of us who are doing the work, those of us who are building, those of us who are focusing on helping one another who wants to continue surviving, is we need to blast those who are misrepresenting us from a platform that is actually influential. If your platform is very influential and you pretend as though you are speaking on behalf of black people and you misrepresent black people by kowtowing and by parroting bullcrap from somebody who don't like you nor us, then you have to be held accountable
And
while
what's
we are
happening
building.
here? And what's happening right here, right now, Bobby? Don't act like the Honorable Minister Louis
Go
Farrakhan
ahead.
did not do this exact shit we doing right now to Jesse Jackson.
Oh, yes.
Remember that?
At the table.
When he had to check Jesse?
He had to.
Like, you talking like shit cool and it ain't cool.
Right.
And I'm finna call you out on it.
Right. That's the only problem.
That's the
problem.
thing.
If you are pretending as if it just doesn't exist, that's one part of the thing. But if you are saying, let's just focus on building, okay, I can agree with that. But if something is happening to us where we are being attacked, every time we open a building, somebody blows it up. Every time we establish a car dealership, somebody blows it up. Every time our children go to their own school, somebody shoots it up. Okay, we have to confront the problem while building our own everything. We have to confront, as you were saying, Bobby, you said, well, every time we start to build our own thing, they're going to be wondering, where are your soldiers? Who are you rolling with? We have to have security, but in order for you to have security, you have to have awareness. You must be on alert constantly
And
to see what the enemy is planning to do while you're building your own everything.
And you got to look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America based on the fear of white America.
Right there. He is their great white hope.
He caters to their fears.
Yes.
And he also caters to their expectations. He continues to give the propaganda to the proper goose. Because he'll get these folks to really believe you can live like I can live. Just keep watching me on TV. From your little old apartment with the, holes in the floor and all of that.
You'll
but
be
you
all
keep
right.
watching me live like you want to live.
Right.
And you couple that with fear, it allows him to just get in front of a camera and continue to tell people absolute stories that he's making up as he's looking into the camera.
Now let me do this really quickly. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You're listening to the VOR Radio Network on Dash Radio. This is my Wednesday show. We go on live every Wednesday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This Wednesday show is known as ManSions. If it's a little rough, it's because I only let men come into this man cave and smash you in the head with the truth. We do not have a problem saying how we feel. We might not be 100% right, but you ain't gonna tell us to our face. But it's okay. I want to thank, real quick, Bobby. I want to thank everybody in my YouTube chat room. You guys have been going crazy on the super chat. Please continue to hit the super chat button, the share button. We got over 1,300 people watching right now live. We are broadcasting from
Vibration Frequency Studio.
Vibration Frequency Studio. I promise you, I'm a professional. I'm going to get it right. Vibration Frequency Studio in Inglewood, California. Black-owned business. This brother stepped in, filled the gap. Thanks to Marcus King. Thanks to Michael. And what's the other brother outside with the fish and chips? What? Ecor. You in the dig? I appreciate everybody for coming together, galvanizing and making this happen. This is a physical manifestation of what we're talking about when we come together.
That's right.
So, I hate it, but I'm gonna have to leave in a couple of minutes, but for a good reason. I was downtown and I ran into Floyd Mayweather. Because he got his whole crew in town for the big fight coming up Saturday night, Errol Spence versus
that's the fight right there.
Sean Porter. And if you want to look at black enterprise in play, just follow the money. That money is staying in black hands on both sides. You got Sam Watson getting money, you got Al Heyman getting money, the fighters are getting money, and all of these folks that are part of these entourages, they actually have to do some work. All right, because when I saw Floyd downtown a couple hours ago, he got the money team with him.
Right.
And these brothers are staying in the Marriott residence. They ain't at the Motel 6. You see what I mean? And they got specific duties that they are performing as he has been able to learn how to transition from being just talent to being a mogul. It's happening right in front of us. And that's why it's so important that we take a wider look at where money is going and where it's coming from, and try to position yourself to be a part of that in terms of adding value.
But Al Heyman, to me, is no different in the way he moves than Byron Allen.
Yeah, and they
quiet. Yeah. They not out there just so you can see them flossing, and they not out there like that.
Well, they figured out, they got a bullseye on their back.
We got a bullseye on our back when we driving to the 7-Eleven, Bobby.
But they didn't know it was you though. You know, Al Heyman walked by folk, they don't even know it's him.
But the point I'm trying to make on this is, Bobby, before you leave, you got to give this young entrepreneur who's watching this show right now, you got to give him some actionable steps, because there's no such thing as a business with one person.
Okay.
It's always a team. So how does he build a team? How does he vet out the right team members?
He's in the right era. Look up Black success, and then find the discipline that you want to operate in, and just be very astute about just finding people that have already done a portion of what you want to do. Just like if you want to be an entrepreneur, you should know about Leon Gar. Let's go to work. I asked Mr. Gar, I said, Mr. Gar,
You brought him to my show.
Yeah, I said, how did you get so wealthy with just a third grade education? He said, 2 things, Bobby. He said, if you want to make money, you got to make friends. And for a black man to say that, and then have
That's
enough
real.
money to burn a wet dog up, he doing something that other people didn't understand how to do. Now, literally, he's a builder, houses and strip malls and all of that. But in order to get black folks to work for them, he had to get them to understand 2 things. Number one, he respected their craft, and he paid them enough money for them not to cheat him out of what he was paying for.
Right.
So we just have to look deeper into what separates a business person and an icon. And it's usually the simple thing. Most of the people that are truly successful, they're consistent in who they are. Their word is their reputation, and they protect it. And they stand on that. So for the young entrepreneur, understand one thing. Get over your fear. And hey, bro, it's Glanton, man. I don't know Glanton yet, I hope the meeting.
Somebody spelled Bobby's name right, Jesus, for Bobby to start tripping.
And because I grew up around
Glanton.
Glanton.
You understand me?
Yeah, it's just what it is.
We from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We go
See,
with...
my uncle, the late Simon Glanton, ran a grocery store, Glanton's Cash Grocery, for 60 years.
Tell us the story, man.
And I used to watch him. It wasn't the groceries that he sold as much as it was the entertainment. There you go. Because every time a black person puts some money in his hand, we appreciate you and your business. And he left you out of there, just forgetting that, damn, this shit was a little bit higher than I wanted to pay for it, but the show was worth it.
Right.
And if you needed to borrow some money, you could come in there and get a loan from him. Now, there's going to be some interest on it.
Right.
But you wasn't getting shit from the bank. That's how Mr. Gar got rich. Mr. Gar filled needs. Gar Construction. Once he began to build properties, he saw that black people couldn't get money out here in California in the 40s from the bank. So he became the bank. And for the next 60 years, these people still paying off homes that he built. He bought the land, built the house, and became, he carried your mortgage. So we just need to go back and look at the practices of other people who got around racism. Mr. Gar would send a white business agent to Palisade and wait on the day that he finished building that house, and that's when them white folks figured out all that money that they spent on the construction of that house went to a nickel. And he used to love the look on their face when he handed them the keys. So we got to just go back through history and figure out, how did we get over? Some of us didn't give in.
You know what though?
To the situation.
I'll tell you how we got over. Together.
Together is the word that comes from
We don't
exposure.
fuck with, but we don't fuck with togetherness like we
used to.
Like we used to.
We ain't
Come
got
on,
much-
Bobby, tell the truth.
Well,
We're
the
working on
truth is, we up against that wall now, because all you got to do
That's right.
is go on the internet any day of the week and you'll see white folks just, pow! Nigga, I seen these white boys that just drag these 2 sisters and throw them on the floor in front of everybody.
Oh,
and my
yeah.
question was, who taped the shit?
Uh-huh.
You mean to tell me it wasn't a nigga nowhere that came out and just, did what we were supposed to do?
Who taped it?
Shit, man. No, we just have to really, spend more time figuring out the ones that don't, Papa don't take no mess. And there's some sisters out here that need to be heard from that are just like that. I know Sister Noreen McClellan, man, just as much of a sister as you'll ever want to meet. And she's continuing the legacy of her mother, Miss Juanita. And we just got to move the spotlight towards folks that care about us, love us, and are actually doing things to improve the quality of our lives.
But how do we do that?
This is a part of it right here.
I mean, we could talk about it, but we have to really
Be about it.
Be about it.
Yeah.
So how do you raise a young man to understand that his self-worth doesn't come from the institution he attends, whatever that institution may be? It could be school, it could be some type of professional organization.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you meet somebody, they'll tell you who they are by what they do.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. No, you're Bob. You practice medicine. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how this society is oriented. So how do we get somebody to say, I'm Bob?
You do
This
it
is me and I'm comfortable with me. I accept me.
through replication, man. And you can't sell a secret. See, there's just too many people that have navigated this mess that we call America and have lived comfortable and honorable lives with no exposure. At some point, we have to get them comfortable enough to sharing those remedies with us and to our community, because a lot of times kids are looking for something to do, man. They know there's some bullshit going on.
So Bobby, if you had an opportunity to raise an entrepreneur, what is the first thing you would tell him?
I would tell him to be honest with himself. And by that, I'm simply saying, think for yourself. And don't be so quick to want to be somebody that you ain't met yet.
But society is about grades.
No, it's not necessarily about grades.
Yes.
I know a lot of people that...
Education is about grades.
But that ain't...
A woman is gonna
choose. Know that that's the key.
Do they seek it in others or do they seek it from
They
within?
seek it in others and themselves, because
Go ahead,
it
Bobby.
stands out, man. When you start being around people, if they doing something that you respect and admire, if you got any sense, you say, man, how did you get, in that situation, man? What did you do? And we just have to be more curious about success and how people become successful. And it's not always measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in impact, because most of the people that have changed the most lives made the least amount of money.
Come on, brother.
Look at that.
Come on,
Look
brother.
at that.
Right there.
There we go.
Right there.
That's just how it go, man.
So how did you find your purpose, Rizza?
I got tired of seeing my people dying, smoking, drinking, being tossed in the back of police cars, being murdered by police. That's what I grew up in. Compton, California. Grew up on 525 West Tishner in Richland Farms, Farm Dog, Compton, Crip area of Compton, California. And that was my condition. Youngest of 10 children. Mother was on drugs. Oldest brother was on drugs. My other brother was selling heroin. My older sister was on crack cocaine for 20 years on Skid Row. This was the situation I was in, looking at growing up as a young boy, the youngest of 10 children. So I saw the need, as Bobby was saying. What did we need? We needed repair. We needed health. We needed more wealth. We needed our own everything, business. We needed food, clothing. We needed these things. And I said, I can't sit here and pretend as though I'm not seeing what the hell it is that I'm seeing every day. I'm walking past it. It's on the other corner. I'm thinking, okay, the other corner might be better. I'm going to go to the other corner. That's not better. The other street might be better. Oh, that's not better. The other block might be better. It's worse over here. And I keep running into it. So that is how I found my purpose. I got tired of seeing my people go through the same damn condition everywhere and not enough people helping to rectify it. I didn't see nobody in my age group doing this. I didn't see it. And so
And I'm gonna ask you
something
both
that
the
was
same
pulled
question.
out of me.
How is passion and purpose related? And how does one ignite the other?
Oh, beautiful question. You want to go about
That which you seek purely in your heart is also seeking you. The scary part about that is, are you passionate about it? Because it's scary when you look outside of your conditioning and you see, I'm going against the grain. And most people, if you're attracted to real success, you're willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna move away from that comfort place where people pat me on the back for staying put. Now I'm gonna step out there, and then that law of attraction kicks in.
So part of success is about being uncomfortable.
That's right.
You got to be,
Talk about it,
but
Bobby.
in a healthy way. You're uncomfortable because you know that you have squandered a part of your life trying to do what other people told you to do, and what they want you to be, when clearly that's not who you can be. If you're willing to say, you know what, I'm gonna trust the fact that it wasn't a whole lot of me's around coming up. People that wanted to write, Oh, that was some sissy shit. Didn't nobody want to play tennis. And I could have played professional tennis if I had have just really been brave enough. As a child, even say, Mama, no, I don't want to go to the basketball court. I want to go over and hit this ball because ain't nobody over here can fuck with me on this tennis court right now.
There you go.
You see what I mean? But I wanted to end up playing basketball because I was good enough to compete. But if I'd have just stuck with tennis, shit.
Yeah, I think you should have stuck with tennis.
You walked into that one, Bob. You jumped into that one. You jumped into that one. Oh, you gonna leave on that note?
Come on, Bobby. Don't leave on that.
Brother, I appreciate you, man. All right. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Mansions on Voice of Rizza Radio on Dash Radio. I'm in here right now. I'm turned up. I'm sitting here with my good brother, Rizza Islam. Bobby Glanton-Smith just took off. And again, this is our Mansion series, and I'm glad we're able to sit down here and talk about how to affect the young entrepreneurs that are coming up in the world that are black. Nipsey was doing it.
Oh yeah, all day.
With, he had that, what was that place over there where they had the STEM?
Yes, in the technology center with the school.
Technology center.
Mm-hmm.
Again, somebody said my audio is out. Maybe my mic just dropped. There you go.
Oh yeah. Your audio's out there.
We'll get it together. No, we'll wait. This ain't. We good. Thank you, brother. Thank you for plugging me back in. Sorry, I'm moving around. My mic doesn't drop. But listen, Nipsey had the STEM research, right?
Yes, sir.
How do we start putting ourselves in a position to where we pool our resources and start doing this nationwide? Because again, remember my point. When you start doing for your people, whether it is spoken, whether it is acknowledged or not, you're a terrorist.
Absolutely.
Because we saw what Nipsey was doing in the community, and Nipsey is dead, killed by one of his own. Somebody had to pay him, right? Did somebody pay him?
Come on.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
All right, somebody paid him, right? We don't know who paid him. Don't look at, we don't know the nigga, but somebody paid him.
Right.
And always in our community, somebody is willing to do the work of the devil when we start galvanizing a movement.
Always a Judas, yeah.
So
yeah.
What's interesting is when you parallel Black America with, say, Hindus. Hindus are spiritual people, religious people, just like black people. But they got something in their religion that applies to everybody across the globe. One of their concepts, Martin Luther King got one of their concepts, right? Ahimsa, the Sanskrit word for nonviolence. Ahimsa, nonviolent. I'm gonna take that, we're gonna implement that into the civil rights movement.
Right.
They have another powerful concept called Seva, S-E-V-A, Seva. The Sanskrit word means service. So over there, you find gurus with ashrams and temples, and they get all of these white folk coming over there. The Beatles did it.
Yeah.
Everybody went over there. We're going to sit with the Maharaji, Maharaja. We're going to sit with, and they getting all this bread, but they implement Seva.
Right.
So I'm going to build a hospital. And everybody in the hospital work for free.
Right.
And anybody come in here sick, you gonna work on them because they're a physical manifestation of God. You got niggas running around here trying to stretch and do yoga, talking about namaste, still hating other niggas.
True.
And namaste means I recognize the God in me recognizes the God in you.
That's true.
Get in the car, namaste. I hate that bitch. What? So
Hypocritical.
Again, it's because that Seva concept is Hindu. Where's the African American Seva concept? This is how we raise entrepreneurs.
Right.
But first off, in order to raise a child, with that level of love, there got to be love in the house.
Absolutely.
There got to be understanding at the crib. Right?
That's what I'm
All
gonna
of this rebirth and regeneration of our community starts at home. How do we heal the home, Rizza?
First thing is we have to, again, return back to a knowledge of ourselves, because as you were saying, brother, the first thing that I looked at was, I said, if you attack the home, and it's interestingly enough what Candace Owens was saying, that the two things affecting the black community the most are fatherlessness and miseducation. I laughed. I said, well, who the hell took the father out of the homes? It was sad.
No, but I like Roland Martin. Roland Martin
Yeah,
addressed that.
Yeah.
He said, if you look at the numbers, and the numbers are out there,
Yeah.
the best daddies on planet Earth is black daddies.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Out of all the races,
Exactly.
we spend the most time. We make sandwiches.
Yes.
We there.
Do the
We
homework, pick
We
them up,
doing
drop them
homework,
off.
picking
Come on,
people
brother.
up from school.
Come on.
Come on now. I walked my daughter to school for 2 years.
Come on.
Okay, we could.
Exactly. So the point is, so it's like, please. So in order to find, we have to, one, find that love for one another and really look at one another. As you were saying, what is the African American, that term didn't come into existence until the late 1900s anyway, 1970s under Jesse Jackson. So there's no such thing really as an African American technically, but that's another subject for another day. But the African, or the original spiritual way that we would think was, I want for my brother what I want for myself.
Right.
I want for my sister what I want for myself. In the hood, in some hoods on the East Coast, they'll say everybody eats. We all got to eat. See, this means this is what I'm going to do because I know it's going to benefit me and you. It's going to benefit me and the family, moms, pops, uncle, grandma, grandpa. It's going to benefit all of us. That's the mentality we have to get back to. Certain artists have pushed the other mentality, which is individualism. I'ma do me.
I'ma do me. That's y'all.
Exactly.
You millennials.
Right. Oh, that's true. No, this generation. That's true.
That's y'all.
We are the product of that bastardized mentality. Like, what the hell you mean I'm going to do? You ain't got nothing. Do what with who? See, now that mentality, that didn't come from us. And that, of course, is something that came from the Caucasian male, and particularly, so much so to where he don't even give a damn about his own white woman. Why would your woman have to fight against you for rights if you gave a damn about her? That's a whole Caucasian male mentality that I'm going to do me, that's solo, that's just my life, that's them. Our mentality was, it takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
Our mentality was, one man speaks. Our mentality was, we respect our elders. Our mentality was and is, we must honor the ancestors. We must take care of the women, take care of the children, etc. That's our original mentality. We simply have to be reminded of it and see those who are implementing it today. That's how we operate as for instance, Brothers of the Nation of Islam. That's how we operate. Sisters of the Nation of Islam. That's how we operate. A lot of brothers and sisters in the conscious community. That's how we operate. So this generation has to get back to the mentality of, it's okay to want to help your brother or sister eat. It's okay. You're not going to lose money by helping me to make money.
Right.
You're not going to lose power by helping me to gain power. You're not going to lose credibility. You're not going to lose being seen, views, comments, likes by helping me to get views, comments, likes, or help me to be seen. I'm going to build you and feed into you because you feed power. And when you feed power, power feeds you if it's reciprocal, and understanding. So that's what we have to get back to. That's the mentality I have.
Do you have a definition for success that's outside of white supremacy in this society? What does success look like for you outside of this society's established benchmarks?
What it looks like to me is the greatest progressive movement, or should I say the greatest longevity of progression amongst the largest amount of any given people. So the majority of your people who are doing well for the longest period of time. You can't say success and say it's because it's one person that got it. Oh, he got it. No, hold up. He's one person. Well, what about us? If you say success, for instance, the Jewish community, they have success. They have it generationally. They have it educationally. They own damn near everything that they have. They have true success. Even though it's based upon the degradation of somebody else, they got it. The white people, for the majority, they have success. They own most of their things. They own and build and do all of these things. The Indians, that's why there's a little Italy, little China, little Armenia, all of these cities. They have success. Why? Because they look out for one another. It is a communal. It is a group. It is a unit, one body. All of us are together. That right there is what we have to look at.
So a community mentality is essential for achieving success.
Of course.
And that's part of your definition.
100%. How many body parts, how many organs in the body work by themselves?
None.
Not one.
Got one organ working by itself.
One organ working by
That ain't
itself.
gonna work.
So no, if you want to be successful, then the body must work together as a whole. Every organ has to work together in order to accomplish the goal. That's why when I walk in certain areas, that's the main thing we have to do. We have to be the examples. Those of us who become aware of this and who have this mentality have to show it. We can't talk as much as you were saying. We can't just do the talking. We got to walk it. We got to show it right now. My brother Zoe Williams is one of the key individuals in me establishing my own book. For example, this brother here connected me with someone who helped me to print when I was scrambling trying to find one. This brother also helped me by helping, as we're on the show right now, to promote the book. I mean, see, we're showing you right now. It ain't no hate, ain't no, I ain't gonna help my brother, with the plug. No. This brother we're demonstrating this right now. You see what I'm saying? We're both in Hidden Colors 5. It ain't no hate in there. Why'd you get more airtime? Why'd you get more?
That never came up.
No, see, that's so we have to demonstrate the same way this is the microcosm of the macrocosm. This is the small example of what needs to be the large example. Black artists need to stick together. Black artists need to buy up land. Black artists need to build things for their community, starting with the neighborhood y'all came from, where you are not helping. They have to do something. And then those of us on the ground have to come together, put our little pennies together, etc., and start to do things for ourselves. Because at a certain point, which looks like in about 4 months, the year 2020, we won't have a choice. They're going to shut everything down.
What are they shutting down?
Everything from the inner cities, as far as food, as far as water, as far as electricity, they are coming after us in certain different ways. They just passed certain laws dealing with food, certain laws dealing with vaccines. They have a whole list of mandatory vaccines for adults, by the way, which, by the way, they wouldn't have been able to pass that. All of us, they wouldn't be able to pass that if we would be paying attention and waking up and saying, you know what, forget the Democrat, Republican, whatever. We need to come together because this damn government is losing their mind and they're coming after all of us. We have to pay attention and come together right now.
So this is, what you're saying is beautiful, man. I can remember years ago, like 10, maybe 12 years ago, maybe 13. Was it 13, King? King and I was playing hoop at Pacific Palisades. And King's from Oakland. So I have to preface that. I had to head.
He just got to make the
King
honorable
was
mention.
fouling because I was athletic. The
Old Town played dirty.
I was finishing at the rim and King had to foul.
Bow.
I'm a hothead, and I had to elbow King, headbutt him real quick. And then me and King did talk for a couple months because King was mad.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
But I was still giving him that work. I was still out there, giving him the work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But then later...
He own you, King. He own you, bro.
No, King,
Yes,
no. Don't do it. But no, then later, me and King got real tight. We started talking or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think we played hoop with each other for like 5 years before either one of us knew what we did.
Wow.
And King, let me tell you something about King. The motherfucker, Marcus King is who I'm talking about. The guy runs Dash Comedy. Mm-hmm. What is it? Marcus King Presents.
Come on.
Dash Comedy. The comedy channel here on Dash Radio. Marcus King is in the building right now. And it was Marcus who said, I think after, we played hoop or what, I tell the story terribly. Marcus tells it better. After we played hoop, I would always break down all of the guys' zodiacs. And it's like 30 guys and everybody would stay and wait for their turn to get their breakdown.
Wow.
So one day, Marcus, he calls his wife and he goes, I promise you, I didn't tell him anything about us. I promise you, he doesn't know us.
Oh, okay.
So I talked to her briefly and she was like, damn, okay, So later, Marcus was like, hey man, Jamie Foxx is about to do the Foxhole. I want you to come up there and do the Foxhole. And it was terrible when I first met Jamie. It was horrible. The first meeting with me and Jamie Foxx, I had to cuss everybody out. Dang. King was like, God damn. So everybody got cussed out. Fox, everybody. I didn't give a damn.
Wow.
But, Fox could have killed it, really. He really could have killed it. Mm-hmm. But he trusted King. Even though he was like, nigga, this beige ass nigga right here, you this nigga crazy, right? But King pushed it. Mm-hmm. I got my shot on the Foxhole. I started on Speedy's Comedy Corner
Wow.
Speedy.
Wow.
Give Speedy his credit. Shit. Speedy's Comedy Corner.
Speedy's Comedy Corner.
And everybody was on that motherfucker. Rodney Perry, Tiffany Haddish,
Wow.
Corey Holcomb.
Wow.
It was, I can't name everybody, but goddamn, Jeff Brown, everybody was on Speedy's Comedy Corner.
Wow.
And what King said was, nigga, you think you funny, but don't be funny. Don't be funny. You be the smart one in the room. You be the voice of reason. Just stay the voice of reason. Let them clown, and then you just drop science.
Right, right.
And the shit took off, and it was great. And we had like some memorable moments, some really fire moments. And then King came back after a year and was like, yo, man, you got to do your own shit.
See?
You see? And this man right here is working with a budget. I'm finna get,
I'm just
just
about to put you on blast.
kind of throw it out there. Okay, cool. He here, but fuck it. This shit, this matches. Okay. But he had a budget that was designed just for Fox's show. And he stretched that budget to produce shows for not only me, Corey Holcomb,
Wow.
Claudia Jordan,
See?
Cheryl Underwood. He stretched that whole budget to turn it into a whole week's worth of programming.
Wow.
Brothers doing for brothers, brothers making it happen, brothers
That's
keep,
right.
you know, man, and then niggas got bougie. Cause you know how niggas,
Yeah.
niggas just driving in,
Success.
you know, the offices in Beverly Hills. We got parking and food and shit. It's like, oh. But they didn't understand what this man was doing to manifest that whole movement.
Right, right.
Then Foxhole goes away. I get an opportunity at Dash. Dash puts me as program director of the talk.
Wow.
And then the Foxhole goes off the air. Ski hits me and says, hey, Zoe, how do we recapture the Foxhole? I said, he was like, can we get Jamie? I said, oh, hell no. We can't get Jamie. Shit.
Right.
But I know the nigga who put it together. I saw him put it together.
There you go.
I saw him put it together. Marcus King. They had a meeting. Next thing you know, Marcus King presents Dash Comedy.
Wow.
It's connecting the dots. It's
That's
putting
right.
your people in position
That's
to
right.
win.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Stretching the budget.
That's it, man. It's
the
stretching the budget.
That's what it is.
That's
For
what
real.
it is.
Stretching
And that's the whole movement we should base our lives on. We should teach our kids, help your own.
That's right.
Support your own.
That's right.
If the hood taught you to hate your own, the hood can also teach you to love your own.
That's right.
To appreciate your own. But you gotta disconnect from the definitions of white supremacy
Right.
and so-called white success.
Right.
Remember, white success is just endless consumption.
That's right.
At least Africans found equilibrium.
Right.
That's why all over the continent, nature represents God. All over the continent, nature is God. So we gotta be in tune with nature.
Absolutely.
We kill an animal, nigga, we gotta have a ceremony for this spirit.
That's a look.
Or the goddamn elephant will be
Honorable
haunting us
Yeah,
from
right.
here on out. You see what I'm saying? There was an equilibrium.
Come on.
We don't have that equilibrium anymore. What we have is competition, competitiveness. We can't, first off, it's okay to love each other without having what the white man said we were supposed to have.
Right.
Or what the white man said the American dream is supposed to be.
Right.
If slaves could love each other, how come niggas today can't love each other?
With nothing.
Slaves only had each other. Nigga,
And
we
we
got
love each
oppression. We property of this motherfucker, but we still love. I still love you.
Right. Right.
We don't have that today,
Come on, brother. We was
You-
singing and starving together.
man. The sister
Come on.
with K. Michelle just came out and said men are terrible. No, the men you fuck with
Right.
are terrible.
I don't
And it said, I said this before, and I don't mean to cut you off, brother. I'm gonna throw it back to you. I said this before. Whenever I hear unidirectional blame, I know I'm talking to a child.
Absolutely.
If you can blame all men, and there's no way you've been with all men,
Right. Hopefully.
because that would mean mega star hole. But I'm just saying, you couldn't have been with all men. You had some bad experiences.
Exactly.
But those bad experiences all lead to you understanding yourself better, understanding your choices. Now, if you grow up through that struggle, guess what you can do? You can begin to refine your intuition.
That's right.
You can begin to refine your selection process, and you won't allow fear and ego to take a leadership role when selecting your next man. But the reason why he got in is because of some shit you neglected internally. Now, if you want to grow up spiritually, you have to transition from blaming him to claiming what you co-created. That's why he showed up, to reveal something in your spirit that needs to be healed. But instead, you want to be in competition with him. You want to say, he's bad for me, or he did this, and then put the blanket on all black men. Black men are terrible.
Wow. Teaching, brother.
And this is somebody who paid for an ass that was born with one. The fuck is going on in the world?
That's real. You teach? Yeah, you teach. That's real. That's real. That's another reason why those who have the right mentality have to represent us. Very simple. Those who have the right mentality, we got to kick the door down. Like you said with Jamie Foxx or anybody like that. No. You don't speak for us. You don't. You can speak for yourself. You can say, this is on behalf of me and my family. This is on behalf of me or my team. Cool. But don't sit here and say, we as the black delegation.
No.
You are not the black delegation. Okay,
No.
that literally means you represent something bigger than yourself. That's why when I see all the different businesses coming out, that's why when I see the brothers who are actually helping other brothers, like our brother Marcus Kenya, like yourself, and other brothers who are actually saying, let me help to put my brothers on. Let me help my brothers and sisters connect.
Marcus wasn't even trying to get back in the radio. I called him.
Oh, so you replaced him.
Get your ass over here.
So was your replacement. Oh, that's what he put you on permanently.
I had to convince Marcus to get back involved.
Wow.
He's like, I don't want to do this shit again, so.
Wow. So he passed you the baton. See, you know what? Sometimes it needs to be done like that. Right. Sometimes it needs, give the brother some responsibility.
Right.
Trust and believe in the young brother. Okay, you like, okay, y'all just some Negroes and he a little knucklehead. Okay, well, why don't you give him something and see how he does with it?
Right.
Give her something, see how she does with it. Give him $100. Tell him he has a budget of 6 days to eat off that 100, or give him 100 and say, what can you establish with that 100? What product can you flip? What can you make with that 100? I'll give you 5 days. And if you can bring me back something that you have made money off of, I'll give you another 100.
You had your dad in your life, didn't you?
Partially.
No, see, but you can hear that shit. Yeah. That's some old dad shit.
Yeah.
When I was little, it wasn't my dad.
That's entrepreneurship.
It wasn't my dad, it was my uncle.
That too. I had some cold uncles too.
My uncle said, listen here. I'm about to give you $20. But your job with this $20, he gave me a whole bunch of shit to do, which I felt wasn't equal to the $20. I felt like the shit he had me doing, like maybe $100, maybe.
Right.
But the nigga gave me $20. But after I did all the work, he told me to go open a bank account.
That right there.
Because his whole purpose of giving me the money was to teach me how to balance a bank book.
Yes.
That was his. Now that's back in the days, right?
Yeah.
But that's what his whole purpose was. We got to start raising our kids to be conscious of money, understand the value of money.
That's right.
But then we also have to be parents that cultivate passion.
Right.
Now what I learned as a parent of 3 children, you got to let them pick what they passionate about.
That's right. Now that's something we all have to listen to that one. That's something everybody has to listen to, because if you try to force your passion on them to live through them what you yourself couldn't do, they will resent you if they don't succeed. And it's a backfiring mechanism so powerful that it's like, damn, I don't know my son. No, you don't, because you forced yourself to be him.
That old vicarious shit.
You let him choose a passion. In the mountains in China and the monks, when they are looking for Siddhartha, they're looking for the return of the Buddha. They put down certain relics and they put down certain items and artifacts to see what he would choose, because that will let them know who he really is if this is him.
The Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama. Let your child choose. And then whatever he chooses, of course, make sure you create a healthy enough mentality for him so that what he does choose is healthy.
Right.
You know, not the dope game,
right?
Because that's all you gave him. Because a lot of us choose that because that's all I see. Well, damn, I'm seeing you getting so much money. You got cars, you got jewelry, man. I mean, well, that looks, you know, pretty adventurous.
But you saying something so goddamn powerful right now, because when you said the dope game is a choice to not only poverty, but to ascend to a standard that is really white.
Absolutely.
See, people don't understand that.
Absolutely. We didn't originate the dope game.
Yeah. No. I want to be able to put my kids in private school.
Man.
That's white.
Yes.
People don't understand that that's white. This is why it's private school. That's why it costs.
Exactly. I want to be able to put my kids in private school by destroying your children's ability to go to school at all. That is white. So I want to sell drugs. I want to encourage you to sell drugs so that you can put your children in private school, but you just killed the chances of 500 other children from going to private school, because maybe you possibly caused them to never even being born because the mother got addicted to crack in the first place as well.
But this is what I said. The invert of the street hustler is the executive.
Correct.
Is the corporate executive.
Wall Street banker.
Y'all want the same life. You want the gated community. You want the country club.
Good old country club.
You want all of those things. And that is why you fight so hard and kill your own to ascend to that level. But what if there was real meaning in your life?
What you want will be...
Some people think you get it through religion. Your relationship with God, that's one way. That's one way. That's a powerful way.
Definitely.
Right? But if your family doesn't have a spiritual base, and I'm not talking about a religious base, if your family doesn't have a spiritual base that cultivates creativity, that cultivates open-mindedness, that cultivates ethics and morals, not dogma.
Right.
If your family, if that household doesn't have the energy of love in there, what you gonna find is a kid who compares himself to the neighborhood.
Right. That's real.
So if you want to build an entrepreneur, you're gonna have to open his mind to accepting himself where he is currently. This is who you are, son. This is who you are. This is what you're about. This is what I'm about. This is what your mom about. Now people ain't about shit, but this what we about up in here.
Yeah, that's real. And point them to a better example if you are not a good one.
Absolutely.
That's real stuff right there. If I'm not a good example for you, then I need to point you to an example that's better than me.
Yes.
Bring the ego down. Bring the communal love and spirit of you. Okay, look, you know what? I may not be the best, but go and hang out with your uncle over there.
That man right there.
That man across the street did it. Look, he built this up. I'm gonna send you over there. As a matter of fact, I'll give you $20 a week if you go hang out with him and you learn from him at least 3 hours every week.
Yeah.
And bring me back the game. Tell me what you learn, and then I want you to apply.
Absolutely.
See, that kind of stuff. That's why right now, and this is what I'm loving about certain people now. Teaching their children this, not just teaching their children this, but they're giving their child a certain amount of stock. They're teaching them how to invest. They're teaching them about banking. They're teaching them about international trade and commerce. You know, showing them how you can connect overseas with other, companies and organizations and countries so that you can get those products, toiletries from toilet paper to all the basics that these white people been getting for a long time. But now we're establishing it for ourselves. I appreciate all the artists who do it. I appreciate all the regular brothers and sisters who are just like, look, I'm tired of sitting here being a consumer. Being one of those who are being leached off of by the elite. I'm very tired of doing that. It's 2019. I think we can switch that up now. We don't need to sit here and be that no longer. Because our ancestors really, after everything that they went through, if they came back today and they looked at us, of course they wouldn't recognize most of this stuff. But all they're looking at is, are you doing better or worse than where we were? That's all we care about. Are you doing better after all of the hell we went through? Can you show us
progression?
Just show us progression.
Can you show us advancement?
Can you read?
Damn.
Can you work? Do you have your own anything? Are you married? Do you have a wife, children? Do you want love? Do you want to be with each other? What is the white man still running everything? I mean, I'm just this is
why I love Tone Talks.
Brother breaks down
Antonio
the
Moore, he gonna break down the numbers.
Absolutely.
He gonna break down the numbers. You're not gonna motherfucking like the numbers, but he gonna break down the numbers. And when you look at the numbers, and what I extrapolated from all of the data that he presents is this: a lot of black people don't want to know where the floor is.
Oh no.
Because if you know where the floor is, you're now responsible for putting your feet on the floor and standing up where you are.
That's right.
You'd rather dream and aspire and wish, because you don't want to know where the floor is.
Right.
The floor is dirty, it's covered with nails and glass, it's fucked up. You understand? But you got to stand on it in order to create a foundation for the next generation.
Yes.
This is why I fuck with Tone Talks. Tone Talks, I saw him, I guess, I don't even remember how we connected, but I saw his videos, I listened to his videos, said that motherfucker intelligent than a motherfucker. I'm gonna give him a bigger platform.
There you go. See, that's that mentality right there. Keep going.
That's how I get
that
in.
Mentality. That right
I
there.
gave him the platform. What I loved about Tone was Tone came in and watched. Let me see how you do your show. Tone peeped how I did the show. What camera you use? Oh, you got the Mevo? Like, how this shit run? And then Tone started troubleshooting in places with the camera that I didn't even check for.
See?
Tone said, hey, Zo, you better go get this iRig too. And then I bought some other cables. You need to.
It's building, brother. It's building.
And next thing you know, Tone is off to the motherfucking races.
Wow, see?
Now, when he started, his subscribers were lower than mine. But where he's at now, he's 10,000 subscribers ahead of me.
See? It happens. It happens.
Do you understand? Now, he gets to Dash Radio. He's killing. I gave him 2 hours to begin with. He said, oh, no, man, 2 hours is too long. I said, no, because I learned this from Marcus King. Marcus King was like, Zo, stay at an hour. I said, why, King? Marcus said, because you over-deliver. He said, you give too much information. You're giving it away for free. So give some and then pull back a little, reiterate some of the stuff that you've given, and next thing you know, the hour is over.
Right, right.
But when Marcus moved me to 2 hours, there was no way he could hold back the gates. I was in there motherfucker talking about everything. But again, I gave Tone 2 hours. Tone said it was too much. Brought Tone back to an hour. He's been over-delivering, killing, dropping information. Next thing you know, he brings on Yvette Carnell, Breaking Brown. Those two create the ADOS movement. This is what I don't like about niggas. Niggas want to disagree with everything.
Everything.
I don't give a fuck what's created. If whatever is created inspires unity, I fuck with that.
That's it. That's it. It's really that's it.
That's it. You understand? All the extra shit. Oh, nigga, I'm ADOS. No, I'm not. You. What you know about? Hey,
man.
If it inspires a movement that will lead to these white folk, it forced these white folk in politics to address reparations. Well, no, it ain't reparations. It's repair. Okay, niggas. We finna, hey, just whatever this road lead to, let it lead. Sometimes you don't got to jump in and steer some shit that you didn't create.
Right.
Just allow some shit to flow to wherever the fuck it's supposed to flow. And we'll see what comes of it or out of it. But we so quick to judge and pounce and jump on each other that this man got Marion, whatever that white lady was, Marion Williamson.
Yeah.
She came to Dash Radio, was at Dash Radio.
Ooh, that's interesting.
To talk about reparations. And then when she did the debate, she's spewing all Tone Talks numbers.
See, that's interesting. That's interesting.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Killer Mike was at Tone Talks. See, I might not be in front all the time. Right. I'm on the backside pulling in people. Oh, go on in here, do this show.
Because
let me give you this show.
It's not about one, it's about us all, brother.
It's about all of us working as a collective to get it done.
That's it. The best leaders were followers first. That's what everybody has to understand. How the hell do you know where to go if you have never gone anywhere? It's like a brother.
Come on, man.
It's like brothers out here in the hood be trying to tell me sometimes the reason you don't know how it is in China. I've been to China. Have you?
Chinatown.
Right. Like in China, you don't really see them talking about orange chicken like that, bro.
They're not talking about orange chicken in China.
So I have to learn how to follow first. It doesn't matter how much y'all think Brother Rizza know or this person know. We're not us anymore. We have become white folk. Minister Farrakhan said that. He said, many of you are no longer black men. You are black men, or pardon me, you are white men in black skin. He said, because you are now operating like a white man. You want to kill black folk. You want to subjugate white folk. You
want to create a distinction. You know, there's a difference between black people and niggas.
And niggas, right? You know what? I'm gonna tell you
something. Police treat both y'all like niggas.
Right, exactly. And it's funny, man. I got into a discussion with this white man one time. This white man straight up told me. He told me because he thought we were so cool. And I mean, I don't know how he got this level of stupidity in his head. But he said, you know, Rizza, man, I really like you and everything you're doing, man. And we like Minister Farrakhan and all that good stuff. He said, because, you know, I try to tell people, man, you know, it's not that we don't like black people. We love black people, but there's a difference between black people and niggas. This white man told me this in my face. Now, I busted his mouth mentally.
Yes.
Because if I would have punched him, of course, boom, there it is. I was with my bow tie, I was suited. So it's like, okay, I can't do that. But the volcanic eruption on the inside, I was like, this is for my ancestors. Wow. I just wanted to just do it. But I said, wow, the first thing I thought was,
damn.
What is it about me that made him think that was okay to say to me?
Because you clean cut.
He thought I was
have
a
an
docile,
image. Yes. No, but you have an image of respectability. And
True.
Remember, for most savages, one who carries themselves with respectability is seen as soft.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm saying that's from the perspective of a savage.
Yes.
Because a refined man goes, oh no, that man has self-respect. Brother. There's a certain countenance that shows like, oh, this man is connected to his God shit. Brother. There's respect there. But to a savage, they take that as soft
weakness.
And that's where you're in trouble.
The most dangerous assassins wear suits.
Look at that.
The most dangerous murderers and killers, they wear suits. They are very clean cut. They're respectful. They tie their shoes. They make sure everything is nice and polished around you. How are you, sir? Very respectable, but they can kill you 30 times around, and you would never know that they the ones that just killed your mom and you're watching on the news. And they sitting down giving you tea. You wouldn't understand. See, so what I'm saying is that type of behavior, that type of mentality is like, wait a minute. If you are comfortable, that makes me understand, okay, you still have this mentality of superiority. You still have this mentality of, guess what, you know what? Yeah, you're black, but you're different than those black folks.
Right.
You still separating me from them. You still not seeing me as one with my people. That I don't agree with. Right. You need to see me as one of them. But the furthest I will say is, okay, you'll see me as one of those who are striving to be the best of my people, but you still gonna say he's a part of those people. That's his people. But I'd be damned if you try to separate me, because that's the same mentality that we are infected with today. Like you said, it has nothing to do with us as far as being black folks and we can't get along entirely. No, it's just too many of us want to be white because we think that success is being white. And that's the thing we have to flip around.
If we are the original Hebrew Israelites, we're the original Hebrews, that's us, then we need to be our own Jerusalem. Jerusalem got to be inside. Jeru, abode, house, Jerusalem, house of peace, abode of peace.
Go ahead.
We need to be an abode of peace.
Yes.
For each other.
Yes. Give
but
each
we
other
not.
A pass.
We can't run to each. We not each other's safe haven.
Come on, brother. Come on. You give this white man all the passes in the world. You let him come in your neighborhood and rape your women. You let him come in your neighborhood and shoot you down. You let him come in your neighborhood and take everything that you have, but you won't give a brother a pass for looking at your shoe, not even stepping on it. Looking at it, walking past, looking at you in the eye. Nigga, what you looking at? Wait. Why didn't you do that to that white man who slapped your mama in front of you?
You got to say the devil is amazing.
Come on, brother.
Because the motherfucker convinced God to hate himself.
Come on, brother. Come on. Come on. Now see, that bomb he just dropped. That bomb he just dropped. Because if you don't know you God, you don't understand. If you don't know you God, a little God, children of the Most High, brother, that's why, again, that's another reason why I respect those who do the work, those who give one another a chance, those who give their brothers a pass. There's a lot of Bloods, a lot of Crips in these neighborhoods, brother, who don't shoot at one another because they're like, hold on, bro. You ain't doing nothing. Like, it's cool. I'm gonna give you got children, I got children. Just, go about your business and do something for the people, but don't be tripping over here.
Right.
See, I respect that.
Right.
Because thank you. You recognize that's your brother.
Right.
We don't need to be no beef over here.
Right.
We can let one another live.
Right.
Because I'm not benefiting if I kill you. How the hell am I going to benefit when I'm killing soldiers in my own army? There is an army that is so big waiting to just slaughter all of us.
Right.
So we have to conserve as many soldiers as possible. Wear whatever color you want to wear. But the point is that we are all a part of the same army. We have the same goal, the same plight, the same circumstance, the same situation. That's another reason why I love, again, when I see certain brothers, communities, groups, organizations, whether they're religious, conscious or not, coming together, putting the children on, feeding the children's mentality, their creativity, helping them to cultivate their purpose. What is it that you love? What is it that you feel like you can do forever, even if you didn't get paid for it? That's your purpose.
So let me hit you with this as we wrap the show.
Yes.
Should we do business with each other, or should we do business, or who should we do business with first? The white man who has more resources, or should we do business with each other?
The white man doesn't have any resources. He has the resources that he stole or took because of our ignorance, or should I say because of us allowing them to come in to take it. But those of us in the continent specifically right now, and I say us because that's me demonstrating that I still have a connection with my brothers and sisters, we have to now rise as some of them are. Julius Malema in South Africa, pushing people white folks out of South Africa. Robert Mugabe, who passed recently, he was pushing all the white folks out of Zimbabwe. And he was giving it back to Zimbabwe. He just passed about 2 weeks ago. So we have to do business with ourselves first. A lot of us have connections. We're not telling one another that we do. A lot of us have access to resources and mineral wealth, etc. We're not telling one another that we do. We're holding the bag back. We're holding the connections back. We're holding the plug in our pocket, and we don't want our people to benefit because we really think that it's going to take power away from us. We have to be willing to open the door for our people, and it doesn't have to be blatant. Just like who were we talking about earlier? Our brother Byron Allen. Our brother quietly amassed that level of influence, power, and control. Quietly, and these white folks can't believe it.
People don't know that 47 meters down, that's his movie.
Oh, see?
People don't know that.
I didn't know that. See, and James, see.
He ain't out front like, shark movie, nigga. No, he ain't doing that.
You can't. As a nation of people, or should I say, stolen, who are behind enemy lines, when you are cultivating something that is going to turn the power over into your hands, you have to build it quietly. You have to cultivate it quietly. You need pressure to make a diamond, but diamond is created in darkness. The most valuable things are created when everybody in the world doesn't know about it yet. It has to come out when it is time. So you have to build with one another and connect with one another and utilize the resources and stop holding them back for one another.
Man.
Black people first. And then you can successfully help others, because how the hell are you going to help somebody else with their broken leg if both of your legs are broken? Man,
ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to ManSions on VOR Radio on Dash Radio. Dash Radio saw fit to give me my own channel on August 28th. They gave me my own channel. Did they know that I was
They did it.
They did it. But look, and this is the purpose of it. Black masculinity is under attack.
Absolutely.
You can't even be real. You can't even talk the way you want to talk.
Come on, brother.
Right?
Come on.
But this show exemplifies the fact we can talk the way we want to talk. And it could be reckless, but it could also be intelligent.
Right.
Now, nobody claims to have all the goddamn answers, but we are not afraid to have the goddamn conversation.
That's right.
And I want to push the envelope. I want this show to be the catalyst for conversations to spark up around your family tables, right? And you ask your kids, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Like, really, how do you want to change the world? What do you mean, how do I want to change the world? You do know that's possible.
Right.
You do know you can change the world.
Speak life into them.
Right.
Help them understand.
So this is an opportunity to take this conversation, and yeah, sometimes there's levity, sometimes there's jokes, but the reality of it is our plight is serious. Our plight is serious. We got white men all across America misbehaving in the most toxic ways, whether it be sex trafficking, sex offenders, whether it be whatever. These fools are still rising to high levels within their society because that's what their society is made of.
Exactly.
Then we turn around and judge and condemn each other because we can't rise to the same height. Now they done got some of our women and they've got some of our men thinking like them.
Right.
Which is basically a possession.
Yes.
Possessed by white supremacy.
Come on, get out.
We as a people need an exorcism, and not by no pedophile priest. We gotta exercise our own people by calling the demons out.
That's right.
Too many times in our family, we tuck the demons away. For shame. We don't want to be embarrassed. No, the whole family got to confront those demons.
That's right.
Remember that demon in Soul Food played by Vanessa Williams? She was the bougie sister that had all the bread, that was talking down to everybody because she was successful. She needs a white supremacy exorcism. There are real people in our community like that. Once we come together, once we say, fuck your standard that you wrote for me.
Right.
You're not Walt Disney, nigga. You're not writing stories for me.
Right.
I write my stories. Once we say, I write my story, fuck your story.
Simple as that.
Then we change the game. You can change a kid in so many. My son, I mean, you know my son. This motherfucker, boy. I feel like, God damn, this nigga me. But again, you got to give him something. You got to seed them with divinity off rip. Somebody said, God with a lowercase. I heard somebody say, I said, ain't no upper or lower case in either Hebrew or Arabic, only in English. I know you want to feel smaller than God, but God is you in totality. There's no demarcation point where God ends and you begin. It's just one movement. And when you start coming into the recognition of that and you start teaching that, I told my daughter, your virginity is connected to your divinity. If you give it away, it gotta be to a God. A man who is real, God realized, not God fearing, but God realized. He understands, oh, this, I'm a part of the flow of all that is. And yes, there are people like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No, that's real. And this is exactly why, like you said, speak the God, speak to the God. That's why when we teach this, brother, we say, you know, we are the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. We don't say uppercase, lowercase God. We just say God of the universe. That's what we are. And
period.
Cream always rises to the top. They understand this. They know this, which is why they are scrambling to do their best to destroy our rise, because it is inevitable. We have returned. We have risen. Our ancestors are living through us, those of us who are realized, those of us who access that power, and those of us who accept one another, and we are being ourselves. We love who we are. We push who we are. We embrace who we are. And that right there, that's all we need. There is nothing else that needs to be understood other than just simply accepting your own and being yourself.
So look, brother, we got one more show coming in after us.
Yes.
Tell them where they can buy that book.
Yes, RizzaIslam.com. RizzaIslam.com. This is message to the millennials. This book is a lot It's a lot of information. I still can't believe I wrote this. So I'm telling you, it's
I'm
like,
excited.
man,
I'm gonna read it.
I'm
You already
thankful,
know.
man. I'm so humbled and honored to even have this, but this is something that all of us should have, specifically in this generation. It gives an overall understanding of many things going on in this world, specifically on how they are trying to attack and destroy us. But then again, also a lot of things that you should just simply know, period. A lot of things you got to know, from national, international, local, etc. You got to get this book, RizzaIslam.com. If you don't want to get it for yourself, get it for your child, get it for your friends, get it for somebody who you feel needs to have a level of consciousness injected into their mind.
There you go. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been ManSions. We don't have all the answers. We just start the conversations. Thank you so much. We'll be back next Wednesday with another heater. Thank you so much. Voice of Reason Radio. We out. Deuces.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Log out. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I saw y'all live, and then I was on the computer too. Wow. What up with the